Shalom, family. All praises to the Most High, our power, the great I am, loving kindness, the Holy Great One, the power of the Yahudims. All praises to the All Merciful Father, the one who was, the one who is, and the one who is to come. All praises to Yahuwah. Grommet, Papa Bonje. Happy Shabbat, family. I was working on another lesson, which is massive. But as I was talking to my wife, this popped in her phone. Masters tournament suspended due to three giant trees falling on the golf course. Masters, the name itself has no place in our society right now. It's dated, it's disrespectful. It conjures up emotions in people. Let's watch this video and then we're gonna break it down. We're gonna get, we are going to reiterate the message that is being given to us and to Babylon. I pray that you have your eyes open and that you have your ears to Shema, to hearken, to Ozine, what thus says the Most High family. This is going to be a very interesting short video. Let's go.
Second round of the Masters was suspended today because of inclement weather, which also led to at least 3 trees falling right onto the course. The uprooted pines fell slowly, as you see here, 2 of them acting as support for the 3rd tree. The trees went down right where a crowd was watching along the 17th tee. Fortunately, no one was injured, but the close call was evidenced by several crushed chairs that were right beneath those trees when they fell. Scary moments there. Thankfully, everyone's all right. Slowly, as you see here.
So, 3 giant massive trees fell during this Masters tournament. What do we have here? We see all these golf courses are built on sacred ground. They are situated right on top of burial ground, on lands that were stolen, on grave sites, on people's bones and bodies that were buried. Okay. On top of that, this land belonged to another people who were enslaved in that land. I'm going to give you the history of the place, family. Before I give you the history of the place, let's have a little conversation. All over the state of Connecticut, we have golf courses. This is a place where the affluent population go to. Now I know that a few black folks like to go and play golf or whatever, but this is the place where people go and discuss big money moves. This is where they go and gather to talk about which companies they're gonna take over next and how many millions of dollars of profit they're gonna make from that deal. This is a place away from technology. This is usually situated deep inside the land. As you could see the how it looks here. This is a place of privacy, pristine landscape. This is not for the masses. This is for the few of that society who want access, who want to, who do not want to mingle with everyone else. This is creme de la creme. Okay, family. When you go to a place that is considered sacred, now I will tell you this: sacred does not necessarily mean holy. It could be sacred, but a lot of bad things happen there. It made it sacred because of what happened there. But it could also be sacred because a lot of amazing things happen there. And the people that live there, their cultures, their way of life made the place sacred. So it became a sacred site. This is sacred for me in the sense that native people of the land, the Aborigines, live there, and for better or for worse, we know that before the colonizers came to the land, they reverenced the land. Even though they had their issues among themselves, they still lived in shalom with each other, and they had a relationship with the land. On top of that, they prospered in the land. Of course, they fell off. That's why they lost the land. But the land is still sacred to the people that lived on the land before the colonizers arrived on the land. I visited a place in Connecticut last year or 2 years ago called it's a balanced rock at a location called Seymour, Connecticut, or Seymour, Connecticut. We go to Seymour to Seymour. During the first video I recorded on that location, brother Paul and I we shot the video on top of a mound, and I recorded that video. When I came home, I did another video where I extracted information from a book that I had, and I show you guys what was buried beneath these mounds. There are bodies, there are treasures, people that were buried together with their artifacts. This is the golf courses. They're built on these mounds. Now, three of these giant trees fell. Now, look at this picture. We have a cluster of trees as if they were having a meeting of the minds. These are the real masters. These trees, these massive giant trees, are the elders. This is Kabodiel, the elder. Kabodiel, the elder. These are the elders of the land, the earthly mother angels, and they were having a meeting and talking among themselves, and the order was given to send a message to these fake masters to let them know the real masters have awakened. Hallelujah. The real masters have awakened. They are no longer awakening. They have been awakened, and they are walking the land. As I have been saying to you, they are here in your midst. In the keys of Enoch, it talk about they're gonna realize that their masters was among them, and they didn't even know it. The masters have awakened. They had this meeting, and they sent out three witnesses to give a warning shot to the colonizers, saying to them, you will not be comfortable on this land anymore. We have been showing you in all the different places that you visit, that you go to, that you are not welcome on the land anymore. And what used to be a avenue of comfort to you will no longer be a comfort to you anymore. You have been weighted in the balances and found wanting. You have been weighed on the scale of Anubis. Your heart have been weighed on the scale of Anubis, and it is not light as a feather. The scale of Ma'at have found you guilty. This is also where we get the Anabi Korak from, the 42 attributes of Ma'at, which you have to say, quote unquote, when you cross over. 42 questions will be asked to you. Were you compassionate? Were you kind? Were you loving? If you meet this 42, then you get to cross over to a higher dimension. If you don't, you get to reincarnate back on the earth, and this is where we get also the Anabi Kos, Anabi Korak, 42 angels, 42 emissaries of life, 42 name of the Most High. It all ties in together. Whichever one comes first, I don't know. These three witnesses went out. Usually, family, this place right here will be filled with people. If you Google the Augustus golf course pictures, between these trees have thousands of people usually. It just so happened today when it happened, it was a light crowd. It was a very light crowd, and she mentioned the 17th T. We're going to talk about the number 17, and we're going to talk about the number 3, but more specifically, we're going to get to the history of this place to show you why this had to happen, and this is the time it happened. This is an opportune time, and the spirits are speaking loudly. As I began to say, you can go to a place, family, that is quote unquote sacred, and you walking on that place. Based on how you move in that place, you're gonna get a visitation for good or for worse, for good or for bad, for good or for evil. Based on how you walk in that place, whether you are welcome there or not, the visitation will be for good, for blessing, or for cursing, or for not so good. Now, these people have been trampling over the sacred ground for too long, and now the spirits had enough. They've had enough. Enough is enough. The royal masters sent a message by 3 witnesses, and just like they have fallen on that ground, Babylon shall fall on this sacred ground. Babylon will fall in the streets, and all the colonizers who are in Babylon running like roaches, like this golf course right here, looking frazzled and shocked, they also will be running in Babylon. When the trees are falling, the buildings are toppling over. But as these trees fall, the real trees, the real masters will rise up like you. You are the masters among them. You are the real giant trees among them. And you will awaken and you will rise up among them. As they fall, you rise. As they fall down, you rise up. You heaped up. You ascend. As they fall, you rise. And you stand on your feet as a great army, just like these trees are standing on their feet as a great army. But 3 have sacrificed themselves for the many. The few have sacrificed themselves for the many. Just like in the Haitian Revolution, when we go to the very beginning, we find Makaya, we find Makandala, the first native who went to visit the Loires and had a conversation with them, and they told him exactly how the Haitians would get their independence. But Makaya, Makandal himself, he had to be the sacrificial lamb. But they promised him that he would not die by the hands of the colonizers, that he would shift and turn into a fly, and that he would disappear from their midst, and that he would one day return and reincarnate in another body and start that revolution again, because his people will fall. Just like these trees are falling to send a message, his people will fall, and he would have to return back, so we can have Mardi Gras from coast to coast once again. The Haitian people shall rise up. Once again, family, you shall rise up from the ashes. But the trees have to fall down. And as they are falling right now, I want you to pay attention to what's happening. What was on the original location of Augustus, Georgia golf course? What was there? Right now, what's happening behind the scenes in the ethereal realm, in the spiritual realm that we can't see right now? What's happening? By the way, family, I had a massive visitation, and I was shown this in the spirit realm. Not necessarily this, but I was shown many things, which we will discuss in a video that I was preparing. But this came up and took precedence. I was shown the veil was lifted up, and I was given visions. I was given dreams, conversations, and artifacts, and I see beyond the veil what's coming, what's happening, what most people are not seeing, or certain people are not seeing if you're not connected to the land, if you're not connected with the elders, the angels of righteousness, the watchers of holiness, the angels of the presence, the 24 elders, the angels among us, standing among the spirits and the souls of the ancestors who have crossed over. I have seen it. It was shown to me just this very night last night, and also among other nights where I have visions and dreams where things are shown to me, family. Real talk, 100%. Let me take you and show you the history took place. Let me show it to you, family. The Wicked Golf Course was once a beautiful place. Let's check out this article titled, "We have lived with the master's name long enough. The masters should stop honoring a racist past and change the name of the tournament. The masters should stop honoring a racist past and change the name of the tournament." What was here first? Let's go all the way down right here. Augusta National was built on grounds that were once a slave plantation and was the property of a slave owner. And according to a 2019 New Yorker piece about the golf course, it is believed that enslaved natives, enslaved blacks were housed on the property. Be honest, he says. When you hear anyone says the masters, you think of slave masters in the South. There's nothing else, nothing special. You don't think of someone mastering a golf course, the game of golf. When has anyone mastered golf? The only thing worse than the name of the event is the actual venue. The golf course, family, is held annually, had long racist and sexist policies. Augusta National admitted no African American. Remember, there are no such thing as African American. But for lack of a better word, we know they talk about black people. They admitted no black folk until 1990, and no women were admitted there until 2012. Can you imagine a place in the United States where women can't go until the year 2012? The club long required all the caddies to be black. So if you were a white person, you go to get a job as a caddy, you can't get it. They'll find a way to say you're not qualified. But if you're black, though, you're more than welcome. It suits you, it fits you to be in a subservient position to them, to serve them. They love that. They required all caddies to be black, and they banned black golfers from the Masters tournament until Lee Elder participated in 1975. Even in the dictionary.com, one of the definitions for the word master is owner of a slave. It is a dark reminder of America's ugly past. Okay? It is a dark reminder of America's ugly past. So check out this article. It has some other things in there. There's something else I want to show you. This is an original picture of Augusta National Clubhouse. Okay? Roberts, an investment banker, settled upon a former beach. Forgive me. He settled upon a former peach and indigo plantation in the city of Augusta, a large market town on the Georgia South Carolina border that was near the center of the cotton trade. This was a former peach plantation, a former indigo plantation. Well, whenever you hear the word plantation, you can see that there were slaves. Okay? And this tree right here in front of this plantation probably held stories that only the tree knows. And if you were to speak with trees, this tree will tell you all that it has seen throughout the centuries that it was there. You can only imagine what happened on that plantation that the trees have witnessed. Hmm?
Two of them acting as slowly, as you see here, two of them acting as support for the third tree. The trees went down right where a crowd was watching along the 17th tee.
The tree went down right where a crowd was watching across or along the 17th tee. The number 17 in Hebrew signifies victory. The number 17 in Hebrew signifies victory, and it is called Yad Zayin. Okay? So the message is that there's a strong connection between the final victory and the manifestations of the Elohim, the sons of God. There is a strong connection between the final victory and the manifestations of the real masters, the sons of the Most High. Okay? And in the book of Jeremiah, we find 17 prayers. 17 prayers found in Jeremiah 32. The prayer is made while the Babylonian army was surrounding Jerusalem. In such circumstances, the prophet redeems the land in Anathoth. Anathoth, as I told you before, is the city of Enoch. That's why it's called Thoth, Anathoth. It is the city of the Mayans, the Mayanians. In the book of remembrance, the city is called Moladeth. But in the Bible, they put the name Thoth which we know as Enoch, and others may say he was an incarnation of Yeshua, whatever the case may be. Thoth is Enoch to me. And whatever incarnations that he had as someone else could be possible, it's plausible. But Anathoth is the same as the city of Moladet in the book of remembrance, the city of the great city of righteousness of the Mayanians. 17 prayers Jeremiah said on behalf of the people there. And what about the number three? The number three that fell down, the three witnesses, the three trees. What do we get from the number three? Number three is a triunity. Is the unity. The three stands for perfection, divine fullness. The three in Hebrew is the letter Gimel, a camel. It signifies to be lifted up. Pride in its negative side, glorified, being elevated. They usually say destruction comes before pride. Is that what it says? Something like that. Destruction usually comes after pride or before pride. You let me know. Or pride come before, something like that. Look it up. Find it for me. Divine fullness, perfection is three, is the letter Gimel. Okay? Pride is its negative side, being glorified, being elevated to a position of authority in its positive side. So this is the negative side of Gimel. Pride. Being lifted up in pride. These people are lifted up in pride, trampling the land. But on its positive side, it is authority. It means that you have received authority of your land. Family, you got the power to make utterances, declarations, to evict anybody off the land. Look, it may not work. It may not work on your own people, but it will definitely work on the colonizers. Whatever state you find yourself in today, whatever country, if you're listening from outside the country, when you listen to this video, if this means anything to you, if reclaiming your land means anything to you, remember in the Talmud, it talk about the world to come will only be accessible by the righteous, and everybody else will be subservient to the righteous, and they will receive whatever they need for their sustenance from the righteous only and nothing more. If living in a world in peace and shalom, beautiful, means anything to you, that can only happen when you reclaim the land and everyone else who have taken the land over is swept off the land. If that means anything to you, when you listen to this message, say this. With all the power that is invested in me by the Most High, I hereby issue an official eviction to anybody, men, women, and child, of this land, of our land. You are hereby if officially evicted. Spiritual eviction and physical eviction. You are no longer welcome here. If you're here for evil, if you're abusing, taking advantage, killing, stealing, raping, here's your eviction, and you must go. Say it in your own words, family. See what happens. Proverbs 16 verse 18. Pride goes before destruction. Divine fullness, perfection, three witnesses. On the negative side, it's pride, being glorified, being lifted up. Pride goes before destruction. It is one of the 33 saying in chapter 16 of Proverbs. Pride goes before destruction. It happened near the 17th, near the 17th T. And we already talked, that means victory. Okay? What else I have for you?
Fortunately, no one was injured, but the close call was evidenced by several crushed chairs that were right beneath those trees when they fell. Scary.
It is a close call. It is evident that the warning is already sent out. Now, hear this message, family, and receive it well. This is going to happen all over this country. Again this year, the year 2013, the ending of the cycle of 7. It's going to happen all over this country. No one will be comfortable in the regular routine. No. This is the year of Zion. Number 3 stands for divine fullness and perfection. Number 7 stands for completion and spiritual perfection. Did you get that? Number 3, which are the 3 massive giant trees that fell, stand for divine fullness and perfection. Meanwhile, in Zion, the completion of the cycle of 7 stands for completion, spiritual perfection, a weapon, a sword of the spirit, spiritual warfare. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, family. You're not alone. You never have. You never will be. Your ancestors, the spirits who are with you, the Obosan, the Loas who sent you here, they are with you. People say, oh, they are inside of you. Yes. But in the Gospel of Thomas, Yahusha said to Thomas this, the kingdom of heaven is within you and without you, meaning it's also outside of you. It's not just within you. The kingdom of God is also outside of you and also inside of you. So your ancestors are not only in you, they are also outside. They are walking the land, surveying the land, walking to and fro on the land, expelling, removing, destroying, evicting those who are no longer welcome on the land. This was the message from the masters, the little masters, the fake imposter masters. This is the message they received from the real masters, the elders.
The round of the Masters was suspended today because of inclement weather, which also led to it.
You have been suspended on the second round, little masters.
At least 3 trees falling right onto the court.
It says at least 3 trees. See, this is what we saw. At least 3 trees fell. Perhaps there are more trees that fell. I just caught that. At least 3 trees fell. Maybe there were more. But those 3 trees, though, they had to come forward. Divine fullness, divine perfection.
The uprooted pines fell slowly, as you see here.
The uprooted pines fell slowly. We're going to get the meaning of pine. But first, what does Augusta mean? Augusta, Georgia. What is the name Augusta? The name Augusta means great, magnificent in Hebrew, and in Latin it means majestic, sacred, venerable, solemn, dean. It also means the word, it is the original word for August, the month of August. It is a British loyalty. So when you read the history of Augusta, the guy who stole the land wanted it to be just like Britain. He wanted to bring a Celtic law to the land. Georgia original name was named after Noah's grandson, Cartlos, Kartlos. The natives in Britain called Georgia Sacerdote, The original name for the natives in Britain for the name Georgia is Socket Velo, which is named after Noah's grandson. But isn't Georgia known as the Peachtree State? In the book of the remembrance, and Zara, which was Noah's, who ended up being Noah's wife, was also called the lady with the rosy cheeks, like sweet peaches, something like that. Which makes sense since the land is named after Noah's grandson, and his wife was Zara, and she was so beautiful she was referred to as a peach. Hence, Georgia, the the peach state. Hmm? Carlos, the city was named Sarkadvelo. The kingdom, it was also named the kingdom of the Colchis in the kingdoms of Iberia. Georgia is the 24th largest state. The 24th largest state. Georgia is the 24th largest state, and also it is the eighth most populous state. It is the eighth most populous state. And when you look in the book of remembrance, the 24th Ekadeshi is Wakafiel, the stars. You are called star seeds. So therefore the message is for you. You shall shine bright like the stars of the firmament. This message is for you. As they fall in Babylon, you shall rise up, you shall heave up and shine bright like the brightness of the firmament. That's the message for you, Rakafielites. In the trees that fell down, these are your brothers, Kabodiel. What does Kabodiel have to say? Kabodiel. Number 6 to Debariel is Kabodiel. Her name is the glory of God. The glory of God. Evil has no secrets before Kabodiel, which means these people, as I said to you already, this is where they go and talk $1 million deals. How to steal another company, how to use the labor of the masses to fatten their pockets. So their secrets were being exposed. Evil has no secrets before Kabodiel. These trees are listening to everything you're saying. Also, Rahabiel. Wherever there is tree, there's also wind. So there's no secret. So when they were concocting their secrets, the tree said, time to fall on their asses. She is the link between man and the Most High through Christ. Did you hear that? The trees are a massive portal for you. It is your link between the earth and the Most High. Go to the tree and hug the tree and talk to the tree. If I tell you what happened to trees in Haiti, you won't believe me. But I'll leave it right there. A tree is a portal. You can travel from one realm to another realm through a tree. After all, Isaiah was hidden in a tree. According to the Mishnah, when the evil king went after him, he couldn't find him, but he saw his clothes hanging from outside the tree, while Isaiah was inside the tree, and he was sawed off in half because the evil king realized that Isaiah was inside the tree. But remember, the judgment happened to Isaiah because of something he said in Isaiah 6. He said something in Isaiah 6. He sinned with his mouth and said that he lived among a people of impure lips. And the Most High told Isaiah, you can't talk like that about my people. Their essence is not impure. Their actions may be, their thoughts may be sometimes, but their essence is of me. They come from the kingdom of lights. They were created by my very hands, the Father, Mother of lights, on the other side of the galactic river. The trees are the mediator between God and men. Evil has no secrets before Kabodiel, and she is the link between men and the Father through Christ. She is the proclaimer of the one who is worthy. She is the proclaimer of the one who is worthy. Not only will she accuse murderers and thieves at the judgment, but she is their avowed enemy in this life. Kabodiel is the enemy of these murderers and these thieves who are trampling sacred ground. This is why she fell on their asses as a warning shot this time, but next time there will be no survivors. Next time there will be no survivors. Kabodiel is the elder of endurance. She cannot be fooled. She cannot be manipulated into falsehood. They see and hear and report to the wind. See, I just told you, wherever there's tree, there's wind. So they see and report to the wind every conversation and thought and every intent of men and every intent of the wicked. You see that right there? You see that right there? These people have problems. They have beef with the earthly mother angels, Kabodiel, and the angel of wind, who we call Rahaviel. The angel of wind, in Haitian Vodou, we call it Agaou. Agaou, mpa fe yo confiance. Agaou, mpa fe yo confiance. I'm not gonna trust them. That's what I'm saying. I don't trust them. Agaou, I don't trust them. Non ni tanou la, gen mauvais among us. We have traitors. Agaou, I'm not gonna trust them. Agaou, I don't trust them. Among us, we have traitors. Even among us as a people, we have traitors. Yes. So keep the sacred sacred. Don't talk your business to everybody. Don't even talk too much. Speak from within. The most I can read your thoughts. Pine. What does pine stand for? Three pine trees. You could get the spiritual meaning of pine, and you could get just pine. Pine is an evergreen. Pine represents health. Hmm? Pine tree meaning. Just Google pine tree meaning. You could get in every country. Pine stands for immortality, eternal life. Hmm? These pine trees are immortal elders. They live in eternity in this realm. That's what happens. These are living entities in this realm protecting the people and the land. And these murderers and thieves think that somehow they can hijack a golf course, walk on mounds, walk on grave sites, walk on sacred ground, and discuss sacred business deals, and think somehow that they're not gonna be exposed. These immortal entities are listening to you, and they are your enemies. To the Iroquois people, white pine is a symbol of the great peace that united their separate nations into an enduring league. What does pine symbolize in the Bible? Pine and trees inhabited the good lands of Lebanon. The good land of Lebanon. Isn't there Lebanon in the south? And you can also take it further and look at the spiritual value of pine trees. Hmm? You could go further into pine trees. By the way, pine oil is one of the most expensive oil out there. I'll leave it right there for you, right there. Hmm? Pi represent wisdom, longevity, fertility, and life. Oh, something I want to show you, family. Oh, something I saw that I wanted to show you lastly before I go. You must see this. You must see this. I gotta show this to you. Give me a quick second. Let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Watch this. Watch this. The Most High is amazing. The Most High is amazing. Let's get this. Watch this. Let's go to the seal of Georgia. The seal of Georgia is a picture of the tree of life. The seal of the state of Georgia is a picture of the tree of life with three pillars. On the left pillar, from where I'm looking at in the computer, it says wisdom. You get that, son? Wisdom. Hokmah. The Shekinah. On the right pillar, it says moderation. These people have no moderation whatsoever. They have taken everything. And in the middle pillar, guess what it says? Justice. Justice on that ass. And this is the Constitution. I got some information to bring to your family. Again, from the book of knowledge, the book of the act, the Constitution of the universe, of the multiverse. And right here in Connecticut, I sit in the Constitution state. So the seal of the state of Georgia is three pillars as the tree of life pillar, the left hand, the left pillar, the right pillar, and the middle pillar also signify the left hand, the right hand, the high hand. The middle pillar leads to the zero hand. The left hand wisdom, the 42 angels, the Anabekoak in the Anatop city, the 42 attributes of Ma'at, the Sifara Govura, strength, severity, also has compassion, hence why nobody died, has a duality, but their purpose is of strength and severity leads into Dan, leads to the tribe of Dan, and you have moderation, and then you have justice, balance, the scale of Ma'at, the scale of Anubis. You have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. Justice is coming. And you have the man standing there with the sword in his hand. 1776. 1 plus 7 is 8 plus 7 is 15. Plus 6 is 21. 21 has a duality. Let's get 21. We already went through 21 several times before, but let's get another. Let's get another. Let's get another example. Same example, but here is another example of 21. 1776 is 21. 1 plus 2 is 3, which take us back to divine fullness and perfection. But when we're looking at 21, we can see a duality. In Hebrew, 21 is Kaf Aleph. It stands for distress. With distress come two things, either grace or justice or judgment. Grace for the oppressed, judgment for the one doing the oppression. In this regard, justice and judgment shall be given and administered upon the colonizers, the murderers, the thieves whom Kabodiel have issued the eviction notice to. Kaf Aleph 21, just distress. Signify giving strength. Hence, why the left pillar says wisdom, and it rides on the Sifara Govura, which is the Sifara of strength and divine justice. It signifies the strength of God's grace to cover sin during our time of spiritual growth. That's for us. When 21 is used in terms of time, as in the 21-year period, it is the number of trouble. When 21, like the year 2021, was the number of trouble or the number of distress for this nation. Hmm? During that time, we are, as God's people, in needs of God's strength, as He offered us an open hand so we can seek shelter under the shadow of the Almighty. Hallelujah. When 21 is used as a number itself, just like 1776, which equals to 21, is being used as a number, it speaks of the end of the distress of the oppressed. Hmm? It speaks of the blessing at the end of the cycle of seven. Did I just tell you why the cycle of seven? Zion. You see, family, how everything intertwined together like grapevines upon a tree. Everything combines together like grapevines upon a tree. 21 as a number and also as time. As a number, it speaks of the end of your distress, of the distress. Thus, it speaks of the blessing at the end. Let's get this one more time, then we get out of here.
The second round of the Masters was suspended today because of inclement weather, which also led to at least 3 trees falling right onto the course. The uprooted pines fell slowly, as you see here, 2 of them acting as support for the third tree. The trees went down right where a crowd was watching along the 17th tee. Fortunately, no one was injured, but the close call was evidenced by several crushed chairs that were right beneath those trees.
Amazing.
They escaped death today, but we'll see what happens next time. Family, remember, as they fall, you rise, and you shall shine bright like the brightness of the firmament. All praises to the Most High Power, the great I am, loving kindness, the Holy Great One, the power of the Yahudims. Shalom, family.